Hello and welcome everyone. I'm the Upper Down, aka Tud, and today we're going to be playing some Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. Alright, let's take a look at what we've been doing with our characters in the previous episode. Alright, we have Yatulio currently finishing up on Dragon. I'm not in too big of a hurry for that because I don't have anything to follow that up with at the moment. Tud, we have in the Thief role. He is almost done with Steel Shield, and then we will push him back to Steel Helm right after that. Eldina we have in the Red Mage role. She is working on Poison. She's almost done with that, about halfway to go. Leticia we have in the Summoner role. She just finished up what she was working on in the Elementalist role, and has now unlocked Summoner. We have the Ramu ability here to do lightning damage. We have Kaif as a gladiator here, working on Bolt Sword. One more battle to complete that. Nektu in the Thief role, still working on Steel Helm. Looks like he's got 190 ability points to go for that. And finally, Mont Blanc we have now in the Juggler role, working on Ring. Ring is an ability that will cause the enemy it's used on to stop, meaning he is removed from the turn rotation. I believe it is 3 full rotations past his turn before he will be able to act once again. Let's take a look at the clan missions here. We don't have any at the moment. Check our clan turf. We did just pick up Yulia River, so we now have access to 4 total territories, none currently contested. Alright, let's go ahead and pop into the closest city here. I want to stop into the shop and make sure that I buy another knife for when Tud finishes the ability he's working on. I want to get him on Steel Helm, so we'll make sure we have 2 of those. Alright, let's go ahead and hop into the pub here and see what missions we have available to us. Alright, there are 3 combat missions available. Let's see what our send-away missions look like. Don't have the items required for most of these. Castle Sit-In. That is one that we can do. It requires sending one of our characters away for a battle. A group of youths are protesting the capture of their friends at a castle in the south. Talk sense into them. Hensrich, Security Chief. Alright, so we'll go ahead and accept this mission. Now to figure out which character to send on that. Alright, so I definitely want to keep Yatulio. I could send Eldina away on that mission, as I want to try and get more experience with Leticia. I could also send Nexu away. He has quite a bit of work to do on his ability. I am going to go ahead and send Eldina, though. But before we finalize this mission, I want to make sure we send the hero goal mission item, so we can try and recruit Lyney. Do we have the dictionary? We do not. Swords in Cyril. We could take this mission. It requires a fencer. So Amelia it is. Alright. Let's see what missions we have here. We have this wanted mission. Sure, let's go ahead and take it. This month's wanted. Diagliev Goodeye. Using alchemy to make counterfeit Gil. Rumored to have a third eye. Swords in Cyril. Announcing the biggest event of the year. The Cyril Swordsmanship Competition. Test your strength and skill. Cyril Event Committee. That was a send-away mission that will last for one battle. This particular mission is actually a good one to farm if you have the required items and abilities. Let's take a look at the laws here. No use of frog or steel. Seems like these laws were specifically invented to prohibit me from doing the things I want to do. But no matter, we will find a way around that. Okay, so the things that make this particular battle so special, Loki here, this thief, has access to steel armor and steel weapon. Steel weapon you almost can't get until late game. And then there are some abilities on some of these enemies that you don't typically see on common enemies. And then you have Dagliev. He currently has equipped an energy mace. Now, he has access to a secondary ability that allows him to draw a weapon. If you steal his weapon from him, he will use draw to pull another weapon out of his inventory and re-equip it, thus creating an infinite money glitch in this battle. But we don't currently have steel weapon, nor do we have steel ability to get access to it. And on top of that, steel is currently illegal in this combat. All of that in mind, we're going to go ahead and proceed here with our current lineup. Bounty hunters, I saw you coming with my third eye. We're Clan Nutsy, and you're coming with us, Dagliev. Defeat the boss. That's right, you don't have to defeat all the enemies, just the boss himself. Alright, let's go ahead and set out here. This is a good defensible position for Kaif to sit in. Let's go ahead and throw an air render at the enemy in front of us. 60% chance to hit for 60 damage. And we missed. Percentages are funny like that. Let's go ahead and move forward here with Leticia. We're going to go ahead and summon right on top of the two of them. 34% chance and 60% chance respectively. Let's see what happens. As expected. Alright, we have Yatulio now. Let's go ahead and morph. We are not going to morph into a snake like we normally do. Instead, I'm going to morph into a panther. They have the second best ability, in my opinion, Petrification. I'm going to go down the far side here. Norma, the archer, is going to go ahead and move to the far side here and take a shot at Kaif. 51% chance to hit for 7 damage. It lands. Alright, gonna go ahead and move forward with Nektu here. Let's go ahead and attempt a melee swing here. 60% chance to hit for 51, and we missed. 51% chance to hit for 4 from the enemy thief here. Counterattack triggered, and both attacks miss. Alright, gonna go ahead and move Todd forward here and fire off an air render. Unfortunately, I will have to move one additional tile. in order to reach. 55% chance to hit for 60. A reaction was triggered. The enemy is now Berserk. We're going to go ahead and use Stunt here. We're going to throw a ring. 60% chance to hit. If it succeeds, it will stop the enemy from the turn rotation. And we have succeeded. Mendoza is going to go ahead and take his turn. He's going to go ahead and use his melee weapon here, the spear. 52% chance to hit, and he succeeded for 18 damage. Yolando is now going to take his turn. He is afflicted by Berserk, so he will only be able to melee attack, but they will be slightly stronger than normal. 64% chance to hit. He missed. Counterattack triggered. It was also a miss. Alright, the boss is going to go ahead and take his turn here. He's going to go ahead and move forward. Doesn't look like there's much he can do due to the range. Alright, well, let's go ahead and attack the thief here. We have a 100% chance to hit for 80 damage, which would be fatal. And we've taken him out. Go ahead and prepare ourselves for next turn here. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to reach with my summon here. Indeed not. Simply going to move forward a little bit, and we will end turn here. Alright, Tulio's turn. Let's go ahead and attack the fellow here. 78% chance to do 32 damage with Rend, which is a bite attack. Alright, we've taken him out. 2 enemies down. 3 to go. Norma the Archer is going to go ahead and take her turn. She's going to back up a little bit and fire a shot off at Nektu. 28% chance to hit for 5 damage. And it missed. Alright, well, let's go ahead and use Nektu here to take out the Dragoon. 90% chance to hit, and it was fatal. Alright, let's go ahead and move Tud down. We'll fire off an air render at the boss here. With any luck, that should be fatal. Yes, looks like it will. 83% chance to hit for 69 damage. Nice. Unfortunately, a little short. Came out at 67. But that will bring the battle to a close. It seems it was fated that I be captured. Alright, wanted cleared. We now have another Blaze Robe as well as 40 ability points. Kaif mastered Bolt Sword. Utulio has mastered Dragon. And we've leveled up a skill. As well as earned ourselves a new clan member. This is Gilbert. He is an advanced class, starting out as a Templar. If I had one additional clan member space, I would take him up on his offer to join, but unfortunately we are reserving that for Lenny. We have 2 missions here. Castle Sit-In. Eldina here. Castle Sit-In was over too quick. We got ourselves the Guard Medal mission item that we will need for a later mission, as well as Missile and Stop. She also has earned 50 ability points, which is enough to finish Poison. We've also earned the Arch Sword. That will teach us an ability in the Paladin tree. Swords in Cyril. Amelia here. Swords in Cyril was too easy. 50 ability points. Also got the Victor's Sword and Battle Boots. She has mastered Pierce Through and Shield Bearer. And we've earned the Spring Staff. Fantastic. That will teach us the Tier 3 healing ability. Unfortunately, we did not get Linny. We got another character here. Looks like a thief. Alright, let's go ahead and replace some abilities here. Eldina, we're going to go ahead and switch over to Frost. I believe I need to free that ability up, though. So let's go ahead and trade off Amelia's weapon for a different one. Let's go ahead and get the Stoic for Feather Blow. Now we will equip Eldina with the Blizzard Sword, the Flamebird. Alright, so I believe Kaif mastered his ability of Bolt Sword, yes. So let's go ahead and give him the next sword here. The Ice Brand. That'll teach him Ice Sword. Who else do we have that mastered something here? Leticia is one battle away. Eldina we just re-equipped. Tud is one battle away. Yatulio, yes. Okay. Do we have anything else for him at the moment? Goblin, Flan, Bomb, Dragon, Snake, Bug, Panther. I think that's everything. It is indeed. Alright, let's head on back to town now. We're gonna stop into the pub and see what we have access to now. We still have 2 missions here. Magic Wood, I believe, is the checkpoint mission. SOS will see us reunited with some friends. Emergency flares in the pattern green, red, green were spotted over the Coringwood. Clan Ritz is in trouble. Please assist. Clan Center. There is a question mark item here that we will receive after completing, as well as the Partisan, which is a Templar weapon, and an R3 anti-law. Let's go ahead and accept our new mission here. We're going to put the item hero goal in this mission as well. Alright. Still nothing in the send-away missions that we have access to at the moment. Alright, now we need to go off to the Coringwood. Ludia Pass is under attack. We will stop there right afterwards. Let's take a look at the mission laws. No use of charge, which is the Moogle Mog Knight class, and no use of spears. I don't currently have any spears equipped on any of my characters, so we don't need to worry about that. Go ahead and get our roster set up here. We only have access to 3 characters in this battle. Let's take a look at the enemies here. Looks like we have 2 zombies. We have 2 healing fairies, and it looks like a juggler. Interesting that they should only allow 3 characters. Normally they allow for 6 allies total. But it seems they are not going to allow that this time. Alright, who do we want to make sure we have in the battle? Honestly, I think this setup is the best. We definitely want our main character in there for the dialogue-related options. We definitely want Eldina in there for double cast, and Yutulio for his morphing abilities. I can also switch his secondary. I don't know that he has access to any control abilities that would work on fairies or undead. No, he does not. Okay. Might also be a good idea to have Mont Blanc in this battle, though. I'm going to remove Eldina in favor of Mont Blanc here. Reinforcements! And just in time! Shera, time to strike back! Ritz! Glad we made it in time! Defeat all enemies. Alright, the fairies obviously are very weak enemies, but they are also healers, so it is essential to try to take them out quick. Whereas taking out the zombies first would not be in your best interest because they do resurrect after 3 turns of being dead. Alright, looks like Shera took a strike at the first zombie here and successfully disabled it, so it will not be able to perform any actions. Ritz is going to go ahead and take her turn here. Looks like she's going to move behind the now disabled zombie and attempt a melee attack from behind. Feather Blow. And it was successful. 29 damage. First fairy is going to go ahead and take her turn here. Looks like she's going to move over towards Tud and attempt a melee attack. 27% chance to hit, will trigger a counter afterwards. Successful hit, and a successful counter for fatal damage. Important to note also, the blue fairies do not have resurrection abilities, simply healing abilities, but the purple fairy counterpart does have resurrection abilities, so if you happen to be encountering one of them, do be careful. They can revive the foes you've already taken out, making it much more challenging. This fairy has chosen to drop a meteor on Ritz, doing 56 damage. Joshua, the juggler, is going to go ahead and take his turn here. Looks like he's going to move up towards Shera. He's going to attempt an attack here. Looks like he is throwing a firebomb, which will cause Berserk. 50% chance to hit. If it lands, it will prevent her from using actions other than melee attack. It did land, however it did not trigger the action, or the debuff ability, I should say. Alright, let's go ahead and morph into a snake here, as snake form is not forbidden, nor are frog or poison. Alright, let's go ahead and get Tud here to do air render on the second fairy. If this lands, it'll do 58 damage, 70% chance that it'll hit. Not enough to be fatal, but it will definitely put them at critical health. I think she has 1 health remaining. Alright, well, let's go ahead and remove that fairy from the battle here. We're going to go ahead and throw a dagger. 70% chance to hit for 25 damage, which would be fatal. Alright, down to 3 enemies, 2 zombies and a juggler. Mont Blanc has leveled up. The first zombie is disabled. He will simply move and end his turn. Second zombie is too far away to perform any meaningful action. He's going to move towards the steps here and head up towards Shera, who will now take her turn. Looks like she's going to back up and fire a shot down at the second zombie. 55% chance to hit for 37. And it was successful, 39 damage total. Ritz is going to go ahead and take her turn here. Looks like she's going to settle for a melee attack against the first zombie here, Swarm Strike. She's going to attempt to poison him. And it was successful, 27 damage and an application of poison. Alright, the Juggler is going to go ahead and take his turn here. Looks like he's going to move back behind Ritz and perform a regular melee attack. 85% chance to hit here. And it was successful. Judge is going to go ahead and take his turn. Doesn't look like he's going to do anything other than move. Alright, we have our turn now. Let's go ahead and move up beside the Juggler. We're going to go ahead and attempt to poison Frog here. 60% chance to hit. If I were to, say, use Kiss instead, there's a 60% chance to hit, which would Doom and Charm. That seems like more fun, and I don't do that quite as often, so let's go ahead and do that instead. Hopefully I don't come to regret that decision. And we were successful. Doom and Charm have both been applied. Unfortunately too far away to hit the second zombie, so instead I'm going to go ahead and throw an Air Render at the first. 89% chance to hit for 49 damage. And we hit for 52. That puts the zombie here at critical health. Ritz is going to go ahead and take her turn here. Looks like she's going to go ahead and attempt a melee attack. 100% chance to hit for 30 damage. Alright, that was enough to take the zombie out. Now, he does have an automatic revive feature built into his zombie class. Alright, let's go ahead and move forward with Mont Blanc here. We are too far away to successfully throw... Oh, no, we are just within the space we need to be. Go ahead and use Ring here. We have a 60% chance to hit. This would stop the enemy from the turn rotation. And we have succeeded. So we only have 2 enemies remaining, one of which cannot take a turn, and the other is charmed. And doomed as well. Shara's going to go ahead and take a shot here at the Juggler. 60% chance to disarm him. Disarm will not affect the Charm ability, only damaging abilities will. The Juggler is now unable to act. Alright, let's go ahead and move forward with Tud here. Not much to really do other than attack the Juggler here, which will break the Charm effect. 80% chance to hit with that. $41 damage inflicted. I've never tried this before, but I'm going to attempt to use Frog Shape on a zombie. Let's see what happens. 100% chance to succeed. Let's go ahead and do it. This will naturally weaken the defenses of the enemy, as well as weaken their offense to 1 damage, and potentially inflict poison as well. Definitely one of the most overpowered of the Morpher abilities. Ritz is going to go ahead and move forward here and attempt to attack the Juggler. Looks like she's going to use an aimed attack. Feather Blow. 100% chance to hit. 27 damage. Not quite at the fatal stage of health yet. Shara's going to go ahead and take her turn here. Looks like she's going to move backwards. She's going to fire off a shot at the zombie frog. Never miss damage. 32. In my opinion, that is a waste of an ability, as the character is currently stopped, meaning it will 100% hit regardless of whether she uses an ability to 100% hit. But oh well, let's go ahead and move forward here with Mont Blanc. We're going to go ahead and attack the frog. 100% chance to hit for 52. This could well be fatal. Not quite, leaving the enemy with 1 health remaining. When he takes his next turn, he will take fatal poison damage though. And this battle is over no matter what now, as the only remaining character on their team has 1 turn left to live. Let's see what Ritz has in store here. Gonna go ahead and move right behind the juggler and attempt a melee attack. 90% chance to hit. This will be fatal. And it was successful. That was a close one. I owe you again, Tud. That's what friends are for, Ritz. SOS went well. Now, for the next one. We got a Topaz Arm Ring, as well as the Partisan and R3 Anti-Law. We got 40 ability points, so Tud was able to master Steel Shield. We've leveled up our clan and gained a few skill points. So we definitely want to keep the R3 Anti-Law. We're going to try to replace something that is cheaper. Let's see what we have. Item is an R2, R meaning rank, and Ice is a rank 1. Let's go ahead and replace that. Wind is a rank 5. Definitely want to keep that. Lightning is an R1, but we use lightning sometimes. Definitely want to keep that if possible. Fight is an R2. Blades is R3. Great swords. I don't really use great swords, but they are an R2. Poison is an R1, but we use poison. Okay, let's go ahead and replace one of the cards we are not going to use. Items. We have gained a new clan member. Delphine, the Archer. She is not who I was looking for. Okay, so let's go ahead and equip Tud with a new weapon here. We're going to go ahead and get him the card weapon, so we can begin working on Steel Helm once again. Alright, back to the pub. Alright, Metal Hunt is there once again. That is a send-away mission for 15 days, I believe. Magic Wood. Trespassers have been cutting down trees in the Coring Wood for their magical properties. They must be stopped. Gulami, Ranger Captain. This would net us the Artemis Bow, which will teach the Archer how to use Cupid, a sort of mind control ability that can only be broken by damage inflicted. It is otherwise permanent. Let's go ahead and take the mission here. I definitely want to make sure that I am sending the correct mission items along the hero goal. Now, I don't recall the exact level required for this mission. We may well be under-leveled, but let's find out. We have 7 enemies, it looks like. This tree looks good, Kupo. Yes, yes. Just the right size. Let's get it. I could get used to this tree-cutting business, Kupo. So much easier than cutting things that fight back, Kupo. Indeed, and they sell for a pretty gill. What a bargain. Oh no, they're trying to cut down that tree. Oh dear, we've been discovered, Kupo. Not a problem, as long as we keep them from reporting. Alright, let's take a look at the laws here. No use of protection or slow. That's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and put our Morpher in the front row here, as well as Eldina. It might be a good battle to have Leticia in, given the number of enemies we're facing here. Definitely want Nexu in this battle, and Montblanc. Oh, we can only have 5 units here. That changes things a little bit. We're going to take Leticia out in favor of Montblanc. I definitely want to have him in for his use of Stop. Let's take a look at Eldina here. She does have double cast, as well as a few different elemental abilities, so it might be worth keeping her in the battle. Yes, I think that's what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and proceed here. Alright. So a few special enemies I see up there. There is a summoner that can cast magic in very wide area. They have a time mage, which can use different types of slow, haste, and other debuffing abilities. And they also have a black mage and a sharpshooter I just saw in the back. And you can tell by how quickly they're taking their turns that they all have higher speed than I do. Alright, so the first order of business obviously is going to be taking out the enemies that I can reach. But once we do that, I'm thinking about taking out the... Oops, hit the wrong button there. We want to turn into a snake. I'm going to try to take out the summoner as quickly as possible, so we don't have to worry about any wide area effects. Once the summoner and time mage are down, this should be an easy battle to complete. Let's go ahead and move forward with Nexu here. We're going to go ahead and throw an air render at one of the 2 thieves. We have a 61% chance to hit for 49. And we missed. Alright, same thing with Tud here. %61% chance to hit for 51. And we were successful that time. As soon as Eldina gets her turn, we're going to go ahead and move forward here. Let's go ahead and pop double cast. And we'll throw some lightning first, followed by a blizzard. Looks like 61% chance to hit both of them. If we succeed, it should be fatal. Not enough damage to take out the second enemy though, even if the blizzard hits. Alright, 24 damage is all we get on the second enemy. We did take the first one out completely though. Unfortunately, I am rather grouped up, so I will be more or less a sitting duck for the summoner. Not a good position to try to attack this thief. We have a 50% chance to hit here with Stop. Let's go ahead and fire that off. Alright, we've succeeded. Martinez, the black mage, is going to go ahead and take his turn. He's going to go ahead and move forward. He has prime targeting range to hit the majority of my group with ice damage. He used a tier 2 ice spell, and he successfully hit 2 out of 3 of my characters here. Okan, the time mage, is going to go ahead and take his turn. He's going to go ahead and move forward here towards Nektu. Looks like he's going to go ahead and cast, a reduce health spell, Quarter. He will do 1/4 of the character's health in damage if he hits. And he missed. Alright, I definitely want to try to hit either the Time Mage or the Summoner with Poison Frog, if possible. That will prevent them from using any of their abilities. Alright, it looks like the Summoner is going to go ahead and move behind the Time Mage, just out of range. Alright, their Archer's going to go ahead and take their turn. Looks like they're moving to the side. They're going to fire an arrow off at Eldina. 50% chance to hit here. And it was successful for 23. Alright, their Sharpshooter's going to take their turn here. Wonder what sort of ability they have in store for us. Consecutive damage, double shot. 21 damage on the first. 29 on the second. That was fatal. Eldina is down. Alright, let's go ahead and move forward with Yatulio here. I'm going to go ahead and throw a Poison Frog at their Summoner. We have a 60% chance to hit, just out of curiosity. We also have a 60% chance to hit the Time Mage. We hit with the poison, but not with the frog. Alright, let's go ahead and move forward with Nektu here. I'm going to try to take out the Time Mage if possible. I don't know quite how much damage I'll do. Looks like 56, 85% chance to hit. This will almost be fatal. One thing I almost forgot to do. Let's take a look at the equipment that they're wearing. Ooh, Gaiga gear. Wouldn't mind having that. Their Summoner has a Frost Robe. Not a bad item, but not something I necessarily need. Sonya the Archer, nothing memorable. Montanez has a Blaze Robe. I already have one of those. Their Sharpshooter has Minerva Plate, as well as a Fey Bow. Unfortunately, I can't steal the bow, but the Minerva Plate is actually pretty tough. No special abilities associated with it, though. We have Headgear and a Power Sash on Dino. And Rain, who I've already taken out, has the Judo uniform. We already have one of those, so no big loss there. Alright, let's go ahead and move forward with Tud here. Let's see if we can steal some armor. We have a 100% chance to do so. Alright, and we now have access to the Gaia gear. Alright, their Summoner is going to go ahead and take a turn here. They do have to be careful of where they place their spells because their characters are within range of them. Looks like they've instead opted for a melee attack against Nektu, who has counter. Both attacks miss. Montblanc's going to go ahead and take his turn here. Let's go ahead and move over to their Time Mage. He's got 12 health remaining. Unfortunately, this will be a frontal attack. 70% chance to hit regardless. Alright, we've taken him out of the battle. effectively reducing around half of their forces. Dino has come back in time, so he will be taking his turn now. Looks like he's going to move up to Mont Blanc here and attempt an attack. 76% chance to hit. It will trigger counter, though. 27 damage afflicted. Counter did 19. Martinez is going to go ahead and take his turn here. He has a prime position once again to fire off some magic. He's going to throw his spell on Nectu. Potential to hit 3 of my characters. It looks like, based on that reaction, at least one of them will be successful. He hit Nectu, bringing him to critical health. Missed Tud. He hit his ally, which did healing. And he hit our Morpher as well. Alright, what does Sonya have in store for us now? Moving away, going to most likely fire an arrow at Nectu because of the low health. Oh, opted for Tud instead. Faster. This ability will bypass any reaction abilities, dealing 18 damage. Alright, their sharpshooter's going to go ahead and take a turn here. Looks like damage and poison, 64% chance to hit. If this does, it will be fatal for Nectu. And it missed. Lucky for us. Alright, we have access to Utulio once again here. I'm going to go ahead and move behind their summoner. And I'm actually going to go ahead and take this opportunity to use the Kiss ability. 70% chance to Doom and Charm. With any luck, this will bring the summoner over to our side. And we've succeeded. Okay. Alright, so with Nectu, I definitely want to try to get him out of the line of fire here. Actually, I'm going to move directly behind the thief to give myself a higher chance to hit. Let's go ahead and fire off an air render. 45 damage, 83% chance to hit. This could be fatal. Unfortunately, just shy of fatal damage. Tud has gained a turn here. Let's go ahead and try to fire off an air render. We have a 65% chance to hit the mage here. 69% chance to hit the sharpshooter. The thief's turn is going to be coming up soon, so I definitely want to try to take him down if possible. Alright, well let's go ahead and fire off an air render at the thief. 65% chance to hit for 47. And we missed. Alright, their summoner's going to go ahead and take a turn here. Backing up and casting on the archer. Ramuh. Let's see some lightning. Two out of 3 successful hits. Dino, the thief's going to go ahead and take a turn here. He's going to move up towards Mont Blanc. Looks like he's going to attack from the side. 76% chance to hit. And that was a miss. Counterattack for 18 damage. That was fatal. Alright, well, let's go ahead and move over behind the enemies here. We're going to go ahead and attack with a dagger. Let's go ahead and hit Sonya. 75% chance this will cause disable, preventing Sonya from using any actions. 25 damage inflicted here. We are spaced out enough that an attack from Martinez will not take out multiple characters at once. But it looks like Nexu's number might finally be up. 64% chance to hit with a Tier 2 lightning ability. Alright, we are now down to 3 remaining characters on our team. 4 on the enemy's team, but 1 is mind-controlled. Their sharpshooter's going to go ahead and take a turn here. Looks like they're going to move forward and attempt to shoot at Mont Blanc. 52% chance to hit here. 38 damage, that puts Mont Blanc at critical health. And we have another turn on Yatulio. Unfortunately, I can't quite reach Martinez, as much as I'd like to use Poison Frog on him. Let's go ahead and hit Sonya with it instead. %70 chance to hit. And we have hit with the poison aspect at least. Alright, well, let's go ahead and take out the caster here at the bottom. Air Render 455, 92% chance to hit. Alright, Judge is going to go ahead and move some bodies around, clear up some space for us here in the arena. Alright, the Summoner's going to go ahead and take a turn here. The last turn the Summoner will get to have, as they are doomed next turn to die. Gonna go ahead and cast some magic here. It looks like Ramuh once again. Successfully hitting the sharpshooter, bringing them to critical health. The archer, who is unable to act, will simply move and end turn. The sharpshooter is going to go ahead and not get to take a turn because my character beat them in the turn rotation, just slightly. Let's go ahead and take them out. We have 85% chance to hit for 22 here. Alright, gonna go ahead and move Yatulio over here. If I were to try to cast Poison Frog once again, that would have a 60% chance to hit. Definitely need to do something because that disable ability is going to wear off very soon. Alright, we were successful there. Alright, now that the enemy is turned into a frog, our fighter ability Air Render will go ahead and take them out here. 75% chance to hit for 97, I think that said. And we missed. Very rare that you miss on a 75% chance, but it does happen. Sonya's going to go ahead and take a turn here as a frog. Going to go ahead and move down to Mont Blanc and try to strike for 1 damage. 76% chance to do so. And it was a miss. Followed by a 54 damage counterattack from Mont Blanc. And a level up as well. We're going to see the Grim Reaper take the Summoner. Alright, and Mont Blanc will finish this off. 88% chance to hit here. Success, 59 damage inflicted. And we have survived. Now to turn these trespassers in. Move along. No talking. Thank you so much for your help. A magic forest. Maybe this has something to do with the crystals too. Alright, magic wood cleared. We got the Artemis bow, a couple of cards there, as well as 40 ability points. Montblanc has mastered ring, and our clan is leveled up. We are now level 15. Also gained a few ability points there. I will go ahead and pick slow up instead of items. And we have now recruited a new clan member, Linny. About time. Let's go ahead and welcome him to the clan here. And we now have access to the next location on our list, Salica Woods. Let's see, where do we want to put that? Let's put that out over here. Let's go ahead and equip Linny here with some items. He has access to Mog Guard, which will focus his power to improve weapon defense and magic resistance, as well as Ultima Charge. It will use, I believe, 30 mana to deal a significant amount of damage. Let's go ahead and get him set up here. We have the Diamond Armor. I believe Gold Armor is what he needs, but I don't have any in my inventory at the moment. The Gaia Gear, apologies, we just stole will give a few different characters the auto regeneration ability. Upon taking damage, they will automatically begin to regenerate health, as we saw with the two story characters that we rescued in one of the previous battles. Definitely want to get Mog Lance started on Linny. Alright, so a few things we need to go to the store and buy. We need to get the shield that teaches Linny Shield Bearer. We need to get the armor that teaches Linny Last Haste. And the boots as well, for the extra point of movement. Alright, let's go ahead and get him equipped here. Alright, now we have him working on 3 different things. Lance for the ranged attack, Last Haste to gain a haste buff when taking critical damage, and Shield Bearer to be able to wear a shield in any job. And with that, that brings us to the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe if you're watching from YouTube. If you're watching from Twitch, or if you're interested in checking me out on Twitch, please feel free to drop by. I do stream 5 days a week, yes. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday from 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. EST. If you miss me one day, don't fret. Just pop in the next. Alright, until next time.